What is your family's go-to Christmas dessert? My family's has been and will always be my mom's famous pumpkin bars. You can't convince me that there's anything more holiday than a spicy pumpkin bar covered, absolutely smothered in cream cheese frosting. So that's what this recipe is today. It's moist. I know people hate that word, but nobody wants a dry cake. It's moist. It's so yummy. It's sweet, but a little bit spicy, and the cream cheese frosting is sweet, but it has lemon juice in it, so it's got like a zing to it. It's so good. What is your family's go-to Christmas dessert? Let me know in the comments. We're starting off with 4 eggs. I put them in hot water before I crack them into a pan just so they are closer to room temperature. You should pretty much always be baking with room temperature eggs. So we've got 4 eggs in this recipe. We're going in with a 15-ounce can of pumpkin pie filling. Not pumpkin puree, pumpkin pie filling. Next, we're gonna have 2 cups of sugar. You can use white sugar or brown sugar. I'm using a combination of both. And then a cup of oil, which I know is a lot, but it's important to the moistness of the cake. We're gonna mix all the wet ingredients together. You want them pretty well together before you add the dry ingredients. Then we're going in with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Get it pretty well mixed in. Then we're adding 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we've got a half a teaspoon of salt, which sounds like a lot, but it needs it. Now we've got 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 1 good shake of nutmeg, and then mix it back together. We're gonna go in with an oiled pan and we're just gonna lay that baby in there. This guy takes a while to cook because has such a wet batter, but it turns out such a moist cake. So we're putting that in at 375 for about 45 minutes. Now we're doing the cream cheese frosting. We're starting with half a cup or a whole stick of butter and an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. You want these at room temperature, otherwise you're gonna end up with a lumpy frosting. This also calls for 2 cups of sifted powder sugar. Do not skip sifting. It will affect how smooth your cream cheese frosting turns out. We're gonna add that in about 1/4 cup at a time, and we're gonna let it whip. At the end, once you kind of finish mixing that together, we're gonna add the vanilla. We're gonna check the consistency and the flavor. I'm gonna chuck in 3 teaspoons of lemon juice, which probably sounds like a lot, but I like a really zippy taste. At the 25-minute mark, I'm gonna cover the cake just so it doesn't get overly brown. Then we're gonna let it finish cooking. We're gonna take it out. We're gonna check the middle, and it's done. Let this thing rest in the fridge for about an hour so it can cool down. That way, when you put your frosting on, it doesn't tear the top off. Once the frosting is on, it's ready to go. Let it cool in the fridge if you're not gonna eat it right away, but otherwise, you're good to go. We cater events big and small, so if you're in Spokane, hit me up on my Facebook or Instagram at Catering by Jenny. Eat well, be well.